We're just about to start. Thank you very much for joining. Ambika, hi. I appreciate your squeezing the time for us. So we're just about to begin. Just give us just 2 minutes, okay? Today there's a lot of traffic, so people are a bit delayed, but we are going to start on time. The others will all join in. Renu, I can see you from US. Shubhada, Madhuri, Navika, hi all of you. Okay, so I think we should begin now. So good evening and welcome to everyone. Today is a special day in many ways. One is that it is the Jayanti of Subhash Chandra Bose, which is declared as the National Youth Day. So very few of us know this, and I happen to be born on the same day as him. I share my birthday. So I'm really getting old. So we decided to celebrate this as the National Youth Day because every year I try to take in something from his life and I try to imbibe those teachings. So that is a special thing. We are here also to release the book Life Blooms at 70, which is actually co-authored by the people sitting here. It all began, with one of my colleagues telling me that, you have so much of experience, why don't you document it? And I would tell her, who is going to read the book? Today nobody reads books. So then she used to say, if you have so much experience and if you don't share it, it's of no use. So you must do something right about it. Then she said, your grandchildren are now growing up, so they should have something to look back upon. So that's how it all started, and it turned out to be something very big. It's a 316-page book, which has got more than 100 authors, and they have given different perspectives. So I said it's very embarrassing for me to write something about myself and say that this is my experience and I've done this and I've done that. So I took the perspectives from the other people, and I chose people from different areas, and we sort of built this up. So Life Blooms at 70 is, the subtitle is Power of Human Networking. So it's ultimately the networks which help us. So in life you see that everything else goes away, but the network, the goodwill, and all the people with whom you work with. So, and especially we, having worked with Chambers of Commerce, we have come in contact with every section of the society. And it's been so rich, the journey has been extremely rich and fulfilling. The other special reason today, or the special place that we are in today, has a legacy, it has a history. We have all these past presidents here. Suresh bhai is there, Rajiv ji is there, Amit bhai is there. All of them are there. And I started my career in 1981 in this very room. So, that is the place I started. And I, in fact, I have known Rajiv ji for 3 generations. His grandfather Ramnath ji Poddar, his father Kanti Kumar ji, his mother Snehata ji, and now Rajiv. So it's been such a rich relationship over the 3 generations, and I really value and I really cherish the fact that he took out time and he's come today. So in this room is more auspicious from the sense that FICCI started its office in 1927 in this room, in this very room. And so when I was sort of in this room, the then Secretary General Pandit told me that you are sitting in a very historic place. So you have to achieve something. You have to be, you have to be great. You have to do some great work. So I think those were the inspirational times, and that was the way it all started. So this book, coming back to the book, is dedicated to our grandchildren, Vedant, Adira and Amaira, and we will be releasing that today. But before that, I would like perspectives from different authors and who have made this book so rich. So first of all, I would like to invite Ambika Sharma, who's there online. She's the MD of USIBC, the US India Business Council. She's the managing director, and we were working together in FICCI earlier. She had to attend the reception in honor of Mr. Amitabh Kant, and I think she's broken off from there and she's come here. So Ambika, I really appreciate your making time for us today, and over to you, please.
Good evening, Vaijayanti. What an honor for me to be speaking on this great day. Let me start first of all by wishing you a very, very happy birthday. On this milestone day, I would say your youth is really, really eternal. And it's just like you are in your 20s. Continue to shine as you always do. I would really like to dedicate this evening for some observations about Vaijayanti as an individual, as a professional. As she rightly said, I had the opportunity to work with her during my FICCI days, and it was a very enriching journey. So, Vaijayanti is someone who really, you will all agree, who walks the talk. We first got to know each other, but journey started from the working relationships, but a committed professional, a very forward thinker and an entrepreneur at heart who's always smiling. She successfully expresses her caring and nurturing quality I have personally seen as a mentor to several young professionals while she was on the job. As a leader, she always led by an example, and I think this is a very, very important trait of an individual or as a professional. We had the great opportunity to travel together, and I distinctly recall our very enriching trip to Italy. And through the travel, I discovered a great artistic talent in her, that she's what a beautiful singer she is. It's not only singing, her creative spirit and love for music shown through soulful bhajans and songs, which really pacified everybody. And amongst the tense atmosphere, we used to call upon Vaijayanti to sing the bhajans. I think this is she's a very God-gifted, and I'm sure you must have heard her singing at various occasions. Over the years, we still stayed in touch. We have grown as good friends. We moved into different spheres, but we still remain connected. I would again like to repeat that she's a combination of someone with a love of life and a firm understanding of what's important. I have never seen her looking tired. I personally get very inspired when I look at her yoga asanas, very robust social media outreach. This is really very inspiring to us because we keep watching her at different times during the day, while we are working, while we are tense. It's really, Vaijayanti, it's really very motivating. Her love, I would say, extends beyond the family. Her vivacious personality, I will again try to put as many as possible. The right time to, and the ability to make friends everywhere. Her infectious enthusiasm has sparked joy and bring hope to many. Behind the simplicity, she is an extraordinary woman who makes it all effortless, but it is a tremendous discipline, dedication, and determination, which you see the way she has profiled herself physically and as a human being. I also take this opportunity on this great day, Vaijayanti, to send blessings to Vedant, Adira, and Amira, your wonderful grandchildren and your family and your better half. They are so blessed to have Vaijayanti as a grandmother, as a mother-in-law, as a sister, as a wife, as a mother. Her life is her own message, and I hope that you imbibe the values that she really represents. To wrap up, I would like to say, Vaijayanti, for you, 70 is the beginning, soar higher, and keep inspiring others. And with that, I wish you that you get all the good blessings, happiness, health, and prosperity going forward. Thank you, Vaijayanti, for giving me this great
Thank you, Ambika. Thank you so much for all those kind words. Please give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. In two minds, I was really not thinking on believing whatever you're saying, because I think you just showered so many praises on me. Ambika, you've also been a great inspiration for all of us at FICCI, and keep the journey on and keep soaring high as you've always done. Okay, and thanks for sparing your time to come out of a important meeting.
Because I'm going half an hour later, I really would like to join your celebrations. I'm waiting to be there for next half an hour also.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ambika. May I now invite someone from the physical world? I think Sunita is the right person. Sunita, I would like you to say a few words. Just a little introduction about Sunita. She is an entrepreneur in her own right. She has been a success story in my book, which I had written in 2002, which was published by Vikas Publishing, and among the 45 success stories, hers was one. So after 22 years, she's here and soaring high as usual, doing excellent work. She's the director of Schnell Hands. So over to you, Sunita.
Thanks, Vaijayanti, for the kind
Why don't you come here?
Please come here.
Come.
We can't turn back and we are old people.
So आप सबसे youngest है.
Hello everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks Vaijayanti for the kind words. It's been a pleasure knowing you. In fact, 4 decades ago, it was right here at IMC that I met Vaijayanti. I was just 17 years old then, and I was the youngest life member of the ladies' wing. So when I walked in for my first meeting, I was looking for a welcoming face, and there with the warmest smile ever, Vaijayanti greeted me, and our connection has built up over the years. She featured me in her book, Business at Home, as a young entrepreneur, and then from then on, I've been an educator and a wellness coach, and I'm really very privileged that she's made me a part of this milestone, Life Blooms at 70. Vaijayanti is a very dynamic lady, we all know that, but she's very humble, she's very warm, she's very loving, and she's not much older than me, but she gives me a very motherly feeling. So, I'm so happy to be here on her birthday and releasing the book. According to me, getting fit is a habit that uplifts all other habits. So, keeping in mind the spirit of the occasion and the theme, getting younger at heart and being younger at heart, I, being a wellness coach, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 simple tips which you can use, which I use myself and I also use in my wellness workshop. So the first one is eating right, we all know sensibly, but make sure 25% of your food is raw for good immunity, and do not forget your daily dose of CNN, that is chas, nimbu pani and nariyal pani at room temperature though, and that will build your gut health and glowing skin. The second tip I would give is really undermined, that is sleep. 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep is a must for rejuvenation, and most of us as we grow older suffer from insomnia. So this tip is to put you to sleep quickly. So when you lay in bed, I need to keep the mic down. I hope you can all hear me. You just clasp your palms together tightly, entwine the fingers, and just keep doing this while you're laying in bed. Think of something pleasant, chant something, think of music. I may start yawning now, but you will fall asleep instantly. The third tip is on good posture, because as we age, we tend to droop. So to keep yourself upright, if you do this one exercise twice a day and just 10 reps of it, you will have a very upright posture, and any stiffness, pain in your back will vanish. And this can be done while you sit as well as when you stand. So once again, you just need to keep your hands to your sides, and when you push your shoulder behind, exhale and count to 10, okay? Meaning keep 10 counts. So, and breathe normally to the count of 10 and release. Do this for 10 reps twice a day, and you will never droop as you age, okay? The last tip, which is my favorite and which is the simplest yet very effective, is tapping. I'm going to show you 2 types of tapping which you should do as you get up in the morning, which will keep you young and really active, okay? Okay, the first one is tapping the crown very gently for a minute. This activates the brain as it stimulates the pituitary gland. So just light tapping when you get up. And the second one is, we all suffer with puffy eyes, water retention. These are the aging banes. So when you get up in the morning, all you need to do is tap your forehead, in to out, tap under your eyes, tap your cheekbone, tap your jaw, tap your neck. If you do that for 2 minutes, you will never suffer from puffy eyes and swollen face. Okay? Most importantly, remove time for self-care. Because I feel looking good is a catalyst to feeling good and staying young at heart. Okay? So, I wish Vaijayanti all the best for this book.
Thank you so much.
And I will be part of your future journey always.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And to end, having an attitude of gratitude is what keeps you young at heart. So thank you for being such a wonderful audience and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you. So, just a little announcement. Those who are on the Zoom and I've shut the camera, I think you should start the cameras and be on mute so we know who all are there because we need our speakers from online mode as well. May I now request Keur, please, Keur Shah, the CEO of Precious Metals, Mutut Papachan, to come and say a few words. Keur and myself have had a long relationship from his World Gold Council days and my FICCI days. And although there is a lot of age difference, we are the greatest of friends. So over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. So first of all, obviously congratulations, ma'am. And good evening to all the distinguished guests. Thank you for inviting me. I feel very humbled and honored that, I am an important part of your journey, life journey, which is great. And it's a very apt occasion, apt evening, Swami Vivekananda's birthday, your birthday, and the title of your book, Life Blooms at 70. I don't know what much to say because I think most people here are very well experienced, they know a lot more than me. But I would say a few words about ma'am first, and then just 2-3 things about the topic or the theme of the evening. She is grace personified. I think I'm sure all of you will agree. She, ever since I've known her, I think now it's almost 16 years, I was in World Gold Council, she was in FICCI, and she was at that time in charge of the Gems and Jewelry committee there. And we did a lot of activities, and ever since I've known her, I think she, still now, just now, I think I'm meeting her after many years. Last, I think I met here only on your, there was a dinner which you had organized.
The 60th birthday that was.
Yes, yes. But she's still the same. She's as beautiful, as graceful. So I don't know what more we can say. I think you yourself, your life persona, is a learning for all of us in terms of how to age gracefully or not age at all. I think that's there. One example I'll give you. We had done a delegation to Turkey. We had taken Indian jewelers, and that's a very different breed. I am a part of that, right? Very tough people to deal with. And they're all mini kings in their own cities. And big names, right? How do you deal with them? And I've seen the way she handled them. I think we had a fantastic trip. It was a 4-day trip, packed with itinerary, and through her connections we had met with their chambers of commerce and the consulates, and we also had time in the evenings for some dinners and light entertainment. One of the evenings we were at Antalya, if you remember, Istanbul, and we went to Antalya. Antalya is a small, quiet town, but a very famous tourist destination in the Asian part of Turkey, which is a jewelry hub for tourists. And that's where we wanted to take the jewelers, that how Turkey, we are far more advanced in terms of our jewelry designs and the kind of creativity, but how that town, through their local artisans, has made it, in the global stage. So we went there, we were all very tired. Evening there was a beach party, right? Beach evening, and we all were tired because we had an early morning flight and then whole day thing. And all of us, including us, there were 3-4 of us who were of the same age and all these dwellers. And we were just sitting. And she just came in. What is this? Why is everybody sitting? She started the music. She asked that restaurant or wherever. And she started dancing, and then she started pulling all of us. And we all started dancing together, and that actually helped us relieve our tiredness. We were so, and then that's when I started observing her very closely. Next year I say, how does she manage this? Gracefully, full of energy, and work is not compromised. So I think hats off to you, ma'am. I think I've learned a lot. And just 2-3 words in terms of staying young. I think it's not about the physicality of it. I think one of the things which, I think the buzz has been around last 10-15 years, and especially with the younger generation. You know, before me, what she mentioned, a lot of that is to do with wholesome health, right? It's not about, but I think the younger generations currently probably are missing the emotional, mental and the spirituality of staying young. That is where, you know, they have these, I don't know the names also, but all my nephews, nieces, I'm also not young, I'm about 50. A lot of my nephews, nieces, my colleagues in office who are in the 20s, they do these crash diets, sudden diets, and they have these weird exercise regimes. Somehow, look at it, it looks entertaining. It is good. I think there should be innovation, we should advance with the way new technology offers us opportunities. But I think most people miss out on the mental aspect and the spiritual aspect. What I have learned through my life journey, and also observing, you know, legends like man. No, it is. I'll tell you what I have internalized from those experiences. Never be judgmental. I think the most difficult thing to do. If you stop being judgmental, you will never judge anybody. There will be no negativity within you. And if you don't have that, automatically you get that inner peace which helps you calm down, and that is what stops the aging process. And perhaps it's going to reverse it also. So that's it. Thank you, ma'am. All the best again.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Big hand for Kevin, please. Big hand for Kevin. He showered so much of praise on me, I really don't know where to look now. I want to dig a hole and go inside. Okay, we have online, we have Sushil ji there, Sushil Jiwarajka. Sir, did you have a problem in getting onto the Zoom?
No, the Zoom took a really while to come on,
Okay.
but it finally did, so.
Sushil ji is in
That's
Dubai
fine.
and he agreed to be with us for a few minutes. So Sushil ji, can I ask you to say a few words? Not more about myself, but for a message to the youngsters, you know, to remain young at heart, like how you are, like how Suresh ji is, like that. Over to you, sir.
I can't say anything without mentioning you, because you are a perfect example of being a 35-year-old at the age of 70. So, good evening to all those who are physically present and those who are online. It is absolutely my pleasure to be speaking on the launch of this book from Vaijayanti, which is her third or fourth book. I've had the pleasure of working with her from 2006 to 2012, when I had hired her at FICCI to be the director of the Western region. And we had such a beautiful relationship then and post leaving. Even now we are on the board of a listed company together. And I used to be always amazed at her energy level, her positivity, her honesty, integrity, hard work, that we built it literally from scratch to a very large organization handling more than 70 events annually, both national, international, and state. And all through, her energy, because of her yoga and keeping herself so fit, her communication skills being what they are, both written and oral, were exemplary. And she got into the role so easily that it didn't feel that there was somebody new heading that organization. Since that time, I am now mentoring about 20 startups, and so I'm dealing continuously with young people. And the message would be, for a long time, the new startups, they got used to spending and burn mode and loss making, etc. I think those days are gone. And if you have to survive in the new era, you have to get away from this thought process. Secondly, the the pace of change has accelerated so much that you just cannot imagine at what speed disruption is taking place. I don't know whether many of you have been following Chat GPT. It is the latest rage, but this can disrupt Google completely. And the possibilities that Chat GPT is bringing is absolutely mind-boggling. Just when you thought that nothing can get better than Google, there is somebody who's already disrupting it as we speak. So the third thing is many of the startups, because of easy liquidity availability, got enamored by large valuations, etc. But a reality check has already set in, and most of the big companies in the US as well as in India are seeing 50 to 70% downward slide in their valuations and finding it difficult to raise monies going forward. So therefore, it's very important that you remain thrifty, you preserve cash, you remain lean, and you remain always in fear that there is somebody who could disrupt. And we've also seen that those who are not following governance, they are facing huge problems, and several promoter owners have had to leave their job because of governance issues. So as you know that ESG is the new mantra: environment, society, and governance. And in the future, if one doesn't have a proactive ESG policy, whether it is traditional companies or new companies, it will become very difficult to raise money. Then climate change has become a serious issue, and again, this will be at a premium. And those who go into these technologies and come up with innovations, they will find funding easier and at a higher premium than others. So we are fortunate that when there is a global recessionary trend, India is beating that trend, and we are still not facing any of the issues that the biggest countries in the world are facing. So we have a bright future. We have a great prime minister, and it is only for the new generation to seize these opportunities and not look for going abroad for some fancy salaries. And so on that positive note, I thank each one of you as well as Dr. Pandit for giving me these opportunities to share my words. And I have no doubt in my mind that this book will become another bestseller. So all the best to you, Vaijayanti. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for Sushil ji.
May I now request Dr. Pradeep Pense, who was we were working together in the Wellington Institute, and absolutely a legendary teacher, great fan following amongst the youngsters, and I think he is always with the young people and with the youth. So I think he'll be able to give us good tips on how to stay young. He himself is like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, just a correction, I'm 62 now. So thank you, ma'am, and it's really an honor and pleasure to be here. And so Dr. Salunkhe is here from Wellington, and so many dignitaries here. I think for me the message has been, because I got introduced to her here in IMC and got into the IT committee way back in 90s. And ever since I've been there with the committee. I think now it's called the digital committee, but so the committee name has changed, but I'm still there, so for such a long time. And it's all a pleasure, and thanks to you for having me there when Vaijayanti was there at that time. So my takeaway from her life journey, and particularly this book that she's written and what I've seen of her the last 4 decades almost, every decade could become a space where you think about what do I achieve in that decade. I mean, so now she's just turned 70. I think it's time for her to look at what will I do in the next 10 years. And you find every 10 years she's been doing something substantial. So from the time I heard her speak, for example, on her PhD topic of women entrepreneurs way back in the 90s, to maybe subsequently the yoga book, and then she actually joined Wellington, and of course in between Fiki and all of that. So there she was also leading one of the events where we used to participate on the design side of it. So I think Vicky was also, I think, one of the initial, right, in the design field that you did.
I think Deepak is right there, you know, he used to
Okay, yeah.
always.
So that for us also was a matter of pride, because Wellington also likewise started the design journey way back in 2006.
One
I think.
interjection, sir. Sushil ji was someone who introduced us to the design sector.
Oh, is that right?
That's how
Okay.
we started working, and Deepak used to hunt for people who are experts in design. And
Okay.
that's how we got to know you, and we benefited a lot.
I see. So that's nice. So post, I think that Vicky, we've seen her part of V School, and her ability to network and the kind of network that she brought to V School was amazing, and that's something of a learning. And more importantly, post V School now we are seeing her flourish actually, even beyond what she's done so far. And for some of us who are at that age now, I am 62, so I'm looking forward, what will I do when I reach 70? I think that's a true inspiration. And there's another point which I wanted to mention is, my father at the age of 70 started to sketching and drawing. Of course, he had the skill but never had the time to do it, being an engineer and all that. But at the age of 75 and 80, we had exhibitions for him. And today I have a collection of 300 paintings, watercolor. Somebody drawing watercolor at 80 is not easy, you can understand it, but he was doing it. And I can imagine only she can do something like that. And I think we sort of resonate and hopefully give each other the energy to do more things in life. But the message is, I have started thinking, what will I do in the coming decade? That's the message. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Big round of applause to Dr. Suresh. Thank you, sir. So, Nanik sir, would you like to go next? Yeah, we work closely with Mr. Rupani, absolutely at a live wire. Those who are sitting here don't need to, he doesn't need an introduction to actually anybody. But for me, it was a great inspiration to work with him, and absolutely a dynamic president that we had earlier, and we are still in touch. And over to you, sir. I would like you to speak. Yeah.
First of all, I would like to compliment my congratulations, heartiest congratulations to Vaijayanti Pandit. I know she can't sit idle. She wants something, always to do something which is great, you know. And I am very happy that Suresh bhai and Salunkhe ji and Raju ji and all other dignitaries are there. On this book release, I am sure this book will sell, will have a success story. But I would like to, inform all of you that I was invited by Sri Ravi Shankar in Bangalore and to speak on Kautilya Artha Shastra, because that time Indian Merchant Chambers decided to have a book on Kautilya Artha Shastra, and she accompanied me. My wife was there, Vaijayanti was there, and there were so many foreigners, and they never knew that Chanakya or Kautilya was one of the greatest economists which the world has ever produced. So she lined up, there was so much demand. So when I came back to Mumbai, I was the president of Indian Merchant Chamber 2005, and I decided with Suresh Kotak, I said, Kotak ji, this is something, you are an ocean of knowledge, we want to really see that this book sees the light of the day. And I had 7 economists lined up, which Vaijayanti, she was coordinating, and till today, it is one of the fastest selling books. The Jacko, I think more than 20 reprints. And Suresh Kotak also really, set together, and we decided, okay, now and how 2,400 years back, how this book is relevant today. And we got then Sri Chand Hinduja. When I told him I want your comments and few ministers, he said, I'm ready to, I think in those days, 10 lakhs rupees was a big amount. And he said, only put my logo on this, this book. And he gave it to all the Prime Minister, President, and, more than 1,000 books he distributed. But till today, Vaijayanti, all your efforts, the book is really doing extremely well. And then being a vice, during my being a, when I was a vice president, I had a lot of time to interact, and all the difficult things I used to give to Vaijayanti. And I remember in those days, we got $50,000 from Ford Foundation. 56. And I think she was instrument. So even to bring reforms in police, and my God, the way she was working with the police commissioner and everybody, it was really something, you know, so many times that Mr. Police commissioner, who is, Shahani, 3-4 police commissioners were there, and we were able to really bring a lot of reforms in police, you know, in the Bombay police. Again, she was responsible. And in Kanti Kumar Koda, Rajiv Koda's father, so after I finished, you know, I had organized a very big international conference, NRI conference in Singapore, more than 900 delegates. We had to really say no to everybody. I think you were also there. And I think till today it is one of the biggest conference organized outside, you know, India. And again, Suresh Bhai played a very, very important role. We had a lot of teething problems. We had a lot of, you know, with the dignitaries. But anyway, till today it is considered to be, and we collected the amount which was, I think, even today it is a record. And we had to say no. We used to get phones from the ministers. भाई इनको delegate लो, आप नाम कैसा बोल सकते हैं? This was really, I'm sure it was almost impossible. But I'm sure this book, Vaijayanti, will not only for your grandchildren, but I think even many youngsters.
For joining the work stream now.
Yeah, so I can go on speaking volumes. I don't want to take much of more time, but my congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And it was really pleasure. All my difficult assignment I used to pass on to her, though I had not people working in it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Big hand. Manoj ji, आपके health का success, the key to your health, I think you should share with them later in the informal way. How to look so young.
I'm only 81, 82 started, and I have a lot of control on food. I swim every day in a cold water, beach candy club. My walk is for almost 45 minutes, 1 hour, and I eat less, to be very honest. And every 2-3 times a month I go away to Khandala, where, you know, I do a lot of pull-ups and even a little bit jogging.
Thank you.
But I think even Mr. Salunkhe is also, he, the way he has kept himself. So if you want to keep young, please control your food, and exercise is a must. Walking is a must. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Now let's get someone from the online mode. Sheena, may I request you to say something? Sheena and me have been colleagues in IMC, and later Sheena was in CII. We worked together when I was at B School. She's been a friend all along. So Sheena, over to you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Sheena is currently in the US, so I think it's.
Happy birthday, Vaijayanti, and thank you for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of this book release of yours. Vaijayanti and I, we've been friends for, I think, 20 years now, and exactly where you guys are sitting in the Indian Merchants Chambers, that's where our friendship began. And I mean, I don't want to take much time because you have a big lineup of people speaking here today. One thing I remember in our earlier days of friendship, where Vaijayanti always wanted to have grandkids, okay? And when her 2 sons got married, she used to tell them, you know, she used to literally threaten them that, please give me a grandkid quickly, otherwise I'll go and adopt some. And I'm so glad, Vaijayanti, you didn't have to go and adopt any grandchildren, and your 2 lovely sons and your 2 lovely daughter-in-laws have given you 3 lovely grandchildren. And Ajit has always been your support, and the way he stands by you, it's amazing. I just love your family. And over the past 20 years, we've become as close as family. So, you know, I really cheers to our friendship, and I really value it. And again, coming to the topic, I just want to quickly just give in my 2 words. I'm not an expert on how to stay fit, how to stay young. But I believe there are two main ingredients to staying young. It is, for me, the most important thing is laughter. So I think all of us, as we age, we forget to laugh. And that is the key ingredient to staying young, because it just increases your blood circulation to your heart, to your head, even to your facial muscles, right? So you look young automatically. And it is easier said than done, right? You may ask, how do I just sit in one corner and laugh? Well, the key is to get involved with really silly people and, be around kids, laugh at your own mistakes, laugh at yourself, I believe, So that is one key, laughing. And second is also, I believe, is getting out of your comfort zone. So we, in our regular life, we just keep on doing what we are doing. But if you want to get out of the rut of your life and do something new, take up a new challenge, I think that will keep you young. So being in a comfort zone is actually a danger zone. So I think these are my two bits, and I don't want to take much time. Over to you all, and congratulations, Vaijayanti, for yet another book.
I request Dr. Uday Salunkhe to please go next. A great dynamic figure which we all have admired, and the way he's brought up the brand Wellington Institute, I think is something absolutely outstanding. And at the same time, he's so humble, full of energy, and he's always forward-looking, great visionary. Every time we would attend the faculty meetings, we would get inspired on what is coming next.
Thanks for showing. I'm sorry about my bad throat, not really doing too well. But first of all, happiest congratulations, ma'am, on this wonderful E-Day for you. At the same time, congratulations for such a wonderful book, Life Blooms at 70. It's namaste to all seniors, veterans from whom we learn, and online and offline as well. I must mention here, I'm in now education with Wellington for close to 7 years. And prior to that in the industry, in Mahindra and other companies. But as you know, teachers are not good at networking at all. And we picked up so much. Teachers are confining them to the classrooms. But they will very rare come out and do networking, unlike Professor Pense, who also happened to be my teacher and one of my senior colleagues. But ma'am was a brilliant example for us, and I think from 2014 till almost 2021, probably 7 years she was with us. And IMC was always backbone, starting from Mogre sir's days and ma'am. And believe me, in fact, we roped her in because we thought that we only used to teach network is net worth, but we never probably practiced so much, so closely. But ma'am was always so much kind of proving her mettle, and it's like walk the talk. And probably my life was far miserable because she used to come and tell me, push me to FICCI, CI and all the bodies. But seriously, to come out of your own regular business and to do only networking was very challenging. But we learned so much, be it FICCI, be it CI, be it your European Union of Council Chamber of Commerce and many other bodies. It was a wonderful kind of, with that networking point of view which we learned from her. At the same time, parallelly, as earlier it was mentioned, always smiling face, always. I really believe and I admire that age is no bar. In fact, you are 70 years young. There is no question of your 70 years. But as it was earlier mentioned, from every decade what you picked up, I never thought of what am I going to do it after 60. But now I need to think about it, Professor, that next decade or next 5 years, how are we going to line up? So the optimistic approach which she had, we always feel that, that perpetual optimism is the force multiplier. But the way in which she demonstrated, it's unlikely. And on 21st June Yoga Day and all, ma'am is always there, even along with the other faculties, to come and demonstrate yoga. So that the kind of, we talk about physical fitness, mental fitness and spiritual fitness leads toward physical fitness. We school that physical fitness is more important. It's wonderful. Our son Advait was our student, and I could see family as well. Ajit Advait must be around somewhere. And oh, he's in Bangkok. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Oh, nice to see you from Bangkok. But like it's a family engagement as well. So it is you are always a man. It's a kind of epitome of learning for us. So enjoy your journey. You will be never aging at all. It will be reverse aging all the time. Please take care and let's be in touch. Thank you.
I think now we know what inspires the youngsters and all the MBA students and even the alumni. This great figure that is sitting with us. May I now request Rajan Mehrotra, my guide and my guru, to just say a few words, please. I did my PhD under Rajan Mehrotra, and he's got a long industry experience. He was with the ILO, and still he's very active, and I look up to him. He's lecturing in the B schools, in the IIMs and IITs, and very, very active. He travels extensively, so I had to book his time, and I had to literally tie him up here to a pillar and say that you're not going anywhere. Thank you, Rajan.
See, Dr. Salunkhe mentioned that Vaijayanti knows how to do networking. I had nothing to do with IMC. I was active with the Employers Federation of India, and I did come to know her. And then she got in touch with me and said, I want to do PhD. Now what had happened is that when I completed my PhD under Dr. Venkutai Patil, who was the director of Bajaj Institute, and when my Viva was over, she said, give me a commitment that you will guide at least one PhD. Now I was not in academics, I was in industry, and it means a lot of time. When she approached, I said, ye kya sirdard aa gaya? She then continued, and I must be fair that she came that what topic should be chosen. The first speaker that went on, and she dealt with that the 45 entrepreneur study that she did. So I looked at her background and said that you are working with the women's wing in IMC. Ideally, do some study with the women. So then she said, what can it be? I said, let's look at women entrepreneurs. And I must tell you, it is not only the networking, but the high commitment that I saw with her. Now, I was in a full-time job, not full-time teaching, and at the same time, guiding a PhD wants a lot of work. So I used to give her an appointment every second week or third week. Please come and see me at my residence at Sunday. That's how I came to know her family, and she came to know. And I must tell you, she would complete the work and come. Now I had to do reading to guide. It became troublesome for me, with such a student. You have a problem, in fact, let me tell you. If you have a student who bunks class, it is very easy. Now, if you have a student that comes regularly and pesters you, I'm not referring to pestering, please don't take it negatively. It was in the interest of completing, and I must say that this is a major quality of hers, that if she takes up some work, she completes it. In fact, this is the book at the age of 70, and wish you all the best at this age. I think you were probably 50 at that time, because I recollect your PhD was in 2001, I think the Viva took place. So must have been 51, 2002 probably.
Yes.
2001, so that's the time you would be. And wish you all, you celebrated your 60th birthday here. You invited me. 70th birthday you celebrated. I'm quite sure I'll remain active. Please call me again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rajan. Thank you. In fact, I would land up in his house on every Sunday, and his wife wanted him to go out with him, and then she used to, in her mind, she must be cursing me. But, but his mother used to make such beautiful food, such tasty food, and she used to give me sarson ka saag and makkai ki roti and all that. And when I used to come home, I used to tell my husband, today Rajan's mother gave me this, today Rajan's mother. So he used to tell me, you go to his house to study or you go to eat? So that's how we developed a family relationship. So thank you, Rajan, thank you so much. Now may I request Rajiv Podar, I think he's been kind enough to come today and also be with us. And he has a commitment. I think Pallavi is also kind enough to be here with us, and they have another commitment. So I made him sit long enough. So
no. I continue for some time. Thank you, Vaijayanti, for having me. I've really not had the honor and pleasure of working with you. But I know my mother and you worked very closely together in the ladies' wing, and she used to always praise you for all your dedication, compassion and hard work. So my congratulations on this book on Life Blossoms at 70. I believe there are 70 mantras for new startups and in the book. It will be, I'm sure, very interesting reading for all of us, and lots to learn from your experience and gain from you. I've known you now for decades, and as you said rightly, 3 generations. And you look just the same as everybody said. So I think, to talk anything that how to stay young at heart is something which you should tell us rather than me telling. By the way, I'm young, so I can, at least I believe I'm young. I've got so many people to meet. My mentors are here, Suresh Bhai, Nanik Bhai, Sushil Bhai, all are here, and so many friends. And it's such a pleasure. And the respect you command itself is visible in this room, online and offline. So, so many people have come and they've spoken about you. It only shows how much we all love you and what you've done for the industry and as a personality yourself. So, I tried to jot down a few things. Sorry, I have to read through the paper. As I said, because you asked me to speak on how to stay young at the heart, so I had to actually find out what one should do to be young at heart. And I noted some things. But before I say that, I think your grandchildren, I wish they were here. Oh, they are here? Okay. So they're so lucky they are here. I would love to meet them. They're so lucky to have such a beautiful gift from their grandmother. I think it's the best gift they could have ever got. Right? A book dedicated to them. Hi, Vedant. My son's name is also Vedant.
The 2 granddaughters are in Bangkok, so
there are some people who at the age of 20 are seen to be old, and there are also others at 70 who yet remain young. So what's the difference and what makes a difference? I try to do a little bit of homework and find out what could be the reason. And I jotted down some points, and of course, so many have been said. As Madam said, CNN, I think, and somebody talked about laughter, and they're all correct, Each one has their own perspective on that. But I tried to write down what I felt, and just so, and I'll be very short and quick. I know Suresh Uncle is seeing the time he has to run, and so I think one point is psychological. So it's how you look at life and age, right? You can think you're a 70-year-old old. You may think you're 70 years old young. So it depends how you see it. Second is passion. To stay young at heart, one must be passionate of whatever he does. It should be whatever. It could be a hobby, it could be time, it could be work, travel, anything. But once you're passionate, the passion will drive you to be done. Third is the mental well-being. So I think physical well-being is very important. Man, we took some tips from you. But I think mentally you have to be very alert, you have to be fit, and you have to have a positive mind to be young at heart. Fourth is love. There's a Greek proverb actually I read. A heart that loves is always young. So we must love unconditionally, and if you don't do it without expectations, that will keep you young. And finally, it's gratitude. I think when you have gratitude towards anything in life, that will also keep you and realize how beautiful life is. So with this, I think I won't take much of your time. I'll just end with another beautiful lines I read. One must laugh like you're 10, party like you're 20, travel like you're 30, think like you're 40, advise like you're 50, care like you're 60, and love like you're 70. So thank you very, very much. Thank you for having me.
Big round of applause for Ajay. The 3rd generation of Podars. I think the time that I requested him to be here, he has said yes, and he and his family have been so organized, and it is such a pleasure working with his father. He taught us so many things, and basically the discipline and the managerial prowess, I think this family is outstanding in that. And that was at a very young age when I had just joined IMC. So I really am very grateful to you and your family, Rajanji. I'm so happy that you come here today. I now request Suresh ji to please, Suresh bhai to please. Sir, if you want to sit and speak, it's perfectly fine. Shall I give you mic there?
No problem.
You want to stand?
I'll stand.
Okay, great. Big hand to Suresh bhai for having come today. He has been a great source of inspiration. The cotton king of India, as you say, he's a textile encyclopedia. Anything we want to know about textiles, I think Suresh ji is he's all on the committee of the government. I think Piyush Goyal has put him on a very important committee. All his life he's been serving the chambers of commerce and the cause of textiles, of cotton, and I think the greatest achievement, or I can see what he has done is to Uday, bringing up Uday the way he is, and Aarti, who is in Singapore. I think she was going to join. She's written in the book, of course, but I think the two great children, that have been nurtured by Suresh, by his culture at home, which I have experienced. And I think that is, sir, your greatest contribution, and we look up to you to share to bless us today. Thank you.
I am so happy, so elated to be here, because I see that today networking is exemplified. I am meeting so many of you. So networking has started today. Book is being released, but networking has already started. How many people I meet, old and new. I met my dearest friend Nanik Bhai, my Chiranjeevi, as good as my son Rajiv. Even I had a lot of deliberations with you when she invited. I have many friends here, and I have started that to remain young. I have learned from so many people. Now I am running 90, and now I will be 100 to remain young with the tips of all youngsters, older, and everybody. And friends, I'll start tapping here. I will do all the regularities. Work-life balance. Vaijayanti is an example. What is work-life balance? How to rear a family, how to service the society, and how to remain, as the name is very suggestive, Pandita. She is Pandit. She acquired doctorate. She went on studying all the books that she has written, the kind of the meetings that were being taken, all these are reminiscences. But the power of networking, as very rightly you said, there is a lot of power of networking. Commercially speaking, networking, I believe, contacts lead to contracts. This is the first power of networking. Whatever the age, at 70, you become more mature to understand other people's mind, take care of yourself, build a group of friends. You know who is right, who is wrong, who is what, and who is where. So all these aspects give you a qualification to stay young, to remain young, think young. After all, it is very rightly said by predecessors and the galaxy of friends here that age is numbered, mere numbers. But how do you feel enthusiastic? And somebody said, also very well said, passion. And very rightly you said that you have to drive your passion, keep up yourself, and after all, even our spiritually also, they say that the connectedness is most important. Samatvam iti yoga, Gita says, connectedness, and socially it is also useful. To keep young also it is useful, and spiritually also it is very useful to have networking with everybody. Satsang. Where is Swamiji? Swamiji has gone away. Swamiji is an example that satsang of meeting good friends gives you a lot of advantages, lot of strength, lot of power, and lot of power. So I feel today very encouraged now to go for the reminiscences of whatever the working. I remember Vaijayanti going to Canada and attending a world conference World Chambers Conference, and I think more than 3,000 chambers of commerce, and representing Indian Merchant Chamber in World Chamber of Commerce, right? So, administratively, with all other aspects, apart from this thing, she has done a remarkable work, remarkable example, and I can definitely say that connectedness with everybody pays commercially, spiritually, as well as socially, and it keeps you a sort of young at heart. So networking is very important. I would read the book with all the perspective and prospects which you have shown. I have read all your books and I am very happy. I am fond of reading, and best thing out of all is getting networked here. Thank you very much. Swamiji, I remembered you. The advantage of satsang. Satsang itself is a networking. Am I right or not? So satsang, I remembered that it is a spiritual advantage, commercial advantage, social advantage to yourself. Thank you very much. Happy to meet you all.
So we just take about 5 to 10 minutes more, so if everyone can wait, because the book release is going to be in 5 to 10 minutes. We just have 2 more speakers to address us, and they will definitely be brief. One is Mr. Madan, Bahal, my managing director from Ad Factors. I would request him to say a few words. I joined him at a very late stage in life, but the lessons I learned and the kind of entrepreneurial zest that he shows. So I used to jocularly tell him that if I had met you before my PhD, I would have just done PhD on one person, and that is you. And all the characteristics of the entrepreneurs would have come in that. So he used to jocularly tell me that then you would have never got your PhD, so don't think about it.
6-7 years ago, I was told that there is an interview lined up and you have to meet a person who was in trade chambers and all. So one walked down and met her, and I thought maybe a younger person was there. And here she was, young enough and energetic enough. And within the first few minutes, what you might call it was love at first sight. I said, तुम आ जाओ, कब शुरू करती हो? On particular day I said, come. She stayed for 2 years till Mr. Salunkhe lured her away. And it was 2 years were full of action. She started a new practice, we launched many new initiatives. We run a public relations firm, so our main asset is relationship capital. She just expanded the relationship capital in one single stroke to such an extent that I think we became stronger and powerful as an organization. It's an organization of young people. I mean, the average age would be 30, 31, 32. But here was one person who was connected to that entire, not only the millennials, but even some zillennials who were there. And if you wanted to know the murmurs that were happening in that crowd, you had to tap into her. Ma'am, kya ho raha hai? So this is the mood. The wonderful thing is, 5 years later, now she has left for other pursuits. But she still stays connected with all of them. And I still tap into her, ma'am, what is the mood in Ad Factors today? And she said, aisa se chal raha hai. Of course, she's helping us out in many different ways. She's the head of the POSH committee. She's keeps providing us counsel and advice on the changing paradigm of what the society expects from people and all of us. So it's been a wonderful person to know. Such a lot of relationship capital is built. Some people call it networking. That means that capital she has is built by being helpful. There is always a reciprocity of sorts where when you do something, somebody does something for you. And you have to be the first one. A lot of theory exists on this subject, but she has done so much for so many people that everybody just trying a little bit to pay it back, and her strength, her power, her youthfulness, her energy, all comes from that kind of a thing. So I hope when she celebrates her 75th, you'll all be here. And the 80th,
with another book. With another book.
Yes. That's a big.
And it's been a matter of great pride and happiness that she's been a part of our lives together collectively. And we wish her all the best and happy birthday again.
Thank you. Thank you. Big round of applause to Madan sir. We're just running against time a bit, but now I just have two speakers and then I have Prabhuji. We have Farida Lambe here, who's done excellent work for Pratham. I'm on the trust of Pratham. And I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Maria Barreto, who works for an NGO called in Healthy Living. And these are all the pioneering, ladies who have done exemplary work. Farida is so humble. Farida, please come. She's so humble. The kind of projects she undertakes, the kind of respect she gets from the government circles and other NGOs and internationally. I think Pratham is now spread its wings all over the world. So I would like you to say a few words, Farida, please.
Thank you. I really feel humbled for two reasons. One is that I'm part of this big gathering and Vaijayanti has made me come here. And secondly, I'm talking in the presence of such stalwarts whom I've seen on the TV. Some of them never really have talked to you personally. So I'm humbled from that respect. I want to tell Vaijayanti that her birthday resonates with Pratham's birthday. So we were 28-year-old yesterday because we got registered yesterday and we started off in 94 with a humble beginning and with a passion that every child in India shall be in school and every child will have good quality education. And I'm happy to say that with support from people like you, we've reached 5 million children all over India and working in every state of India and also internationally. And this is possible because you have somebody like Vaijayanti on your Pratham Trust. Everybody is talking about staying young. I'm also in that same category. I'm also 71. And people tell me that I'm young. Yes, I am young. And the reason why I feel young is you have a passion from the beginning. I've always had a passion. I've been at the College of Social Work. I headed the College of Social Work in Niketan and then started Pratham with my colleague Madhav Chavan. And passion has been how do you make a difference in people's lives. And every time you make a difference in people's life, you feel it's like an addiction. That you're successful, you want more success. And I think that's what has happened with us. And with Vaijayanti, I know her almost for 15 to 18 years. And I had to just tell her that could you come on our board, and she willingly came. And she's full of humility again. She always says it's my privilege, I'm happy to be here. But the kind of contribution she has made to the trust, first of all, there's many things you learn from her. One is that she's extremely punctual. If the meeting is at 11:30, she's the first one, even before we are cleaning the conference room and getting the water bottles and all, Vaijayanti is already there. So you have to be very careful. So nowadays the conference room is ready much before Vaijayanti comes into the conference room. Secondly, she's the first one to respond. You ask her anything on a mail or on a WhatsApp, she's the first one to respond. There's no time wastage there. So you immediately know whether she's there, not there, whatever you are responding. Like all of you said about networking, I think she has it within her, and the networking comes in because the persona and the personality she has, and I think almost everybody has spoken about it. And I always tell her that whenever I see you, I get inspired by the kind of sarees you wear and the jewelry you wear, and everything is neat and tidy. I mean, you can call her any time, I think she's like that. She's in the best of her dress. We will not talk so much about dress because dress is external and what she has is the internal beauty. And I think I want to join many of you who said that in my life I also believe that family is very important. That you may do a lot of work outside, but you need that skill to balance your family with work, and you need a very supportive family. So I think Vaijayanti, I'm sure, is grateful to her family, to her children, to her grandchildren, who have really taken pride in her work, because it is It is the same with my family. I wouldn't have been here if my family would not have supported for what I am doing. And finally, I just want to say that it is not about 70, it is not about 80, as everybody said, it is numbers. But I think what you remembered, Vaijayanti, and what all of us will always be remembered with what we do and what actions we take and how connected we are. And I think gratitude and passion and optimism are the key words for me. Thank you so much and happy birthday.
Thank you, Pariva. Thank you so much. And my apologies, we are running a little late. We just have one more speaker, then we have Prabhuji's address, and I'm sure we are all waiting for that. After that, we release the book. So I request nobody to go anywhere. We release the book and we have a picture with everyone. So now Dilnawaz is from Canada. Dilnawaz is my friend who's come from Canada. We have also Ullas Ranade there. I would like to acknowledge his presence. Ullas, hi. I'm sorry it's an odd time for you, and thanks for being there all the while. Okay, he's written in my book as well, and he knows me for what, 55 years? He's a family friend. And over to you, Dilnawaz.
Yeah. Thank you. That's my cue for being short and sweet. Alright. I'm sure 5 years later, when we meet up for her 75th, there's going to be another book out here, and that's going to say with a big cross, sorry, oops, life actually blooms at 75. And so on. Anyway, I'm Dilnawaz Shroff. I'm the Global Director for the World Zartusti Chamber of Commerce and the Global Director for Young Piramas. My friendship with Vaijayanti actually started 35 years ago when I asked her to write for India's first corporate magazine, women's corporate magazine called Women's Executive Digest. And I asked her to write a monthly column, and very readily she agreed, and that's where our story began. Now I've been hearing all of you glowing references to her, elegant and gracious and whatnot. I am going to tell you another side to her, alright? Or why we call her the idiot. Yes, that's the nickname between us friends. Now we used to be, all of us women achievers, on the same panels in those days. I'm talking about the 80s. And the BMA, the IMC, FICI, we all used to be the same women, same faces, all around on stage. One day, we had this speaker who was very boring, very boring. And he went on and on, droning away. And Raiji and I were on stage, talking very quietly in whispers. And suddenly she said something so outrageous that I burst out, "Don't be such an idiot." And that was it. The audience broke out into laughter. The speaker was very upset with us. And well, long story short, from then on we've been known as the idiots. Anyway, now she asked me to say one mantra for success. And I didn't take it to be for youth, for the young. But here's my mantra that we teach our students all over the world. And that says, no one is coming. It's a very simple thing. No one is coming. And no one is coming to change your life. No one is coming to get you off the couch. No one is handing that job to you. No one is coming to get you to get your butt off to the gym. No one is coming, period. So stop waiting, create the life you want, start taking action. Do whatever it is that will make you move towards your goal. Remember, big changes happen with small actions. So go ahead, send that email, sign up for that class, start writing your business plan, do whatever it is. Remember, your life, your dreams are your responsibility. Start acting like it. Success, happiness, control, everything comes from you. So stop waiting, make it happen, just like she had.
We've all been waiting for Prabhuji, who is with us here today. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji was responsible for taking me to the spiritual path. I had, no one forced me to go to the temple, no one forced me to meet him. It all just happened, and we went to his eco village, and then we took a lot of people there, and now we are also supporting the eco village through the company CSR funds, and he's doing excellent work, absolutely a brilliant person. And we are very honored, Prabhuji, that you are here today. We almost feel that we have Krishna's blessings through you, for all of us, not only the people who are here in the hall, but those who are not here, and those who are online, and everyone else. So may I please request you to address us. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaijayanti ji, and congratulations for Life Blooms at 70 and on your 70th birthday. So I was giving a talk at Ohio Athens College in America, and one young American boy after the program was talking to me in Hindi. So I got intrigued. I looked at him and I said, "You look American, but you're speaking Hindi. Are you American or are you Indian? I'm not able to understand." So he said, "I'm very much from America. I'm from California. I grew up in a very wealthy family. My father was taking very good care of me, and we had big houses and cars and tennis courts, swimming pools, everything. When I was 17 years old, I told my dad that, 'Dad, you gave me everything in life except the experience of what a family should be like.' Because when I was 2 years old, you were divorced, so I grew up alone. So now when I'm 17 years old, I have a deep desire to experience what is family life." So his father said, "Well, I'm too old to give you an experience of family." But the fact is that today there are countries like Luxembourg which have a divorce rate of 88%. Spain has a divorce rate of 65%, France has 55% divorce rate, Russia has 51% divorce rate, USA has 46% divorce rate, the global divorce rate is 44%, and India still has the lowest divorce rate at almost 1%. So his father was very bullish, and he said, "You go to India and experience what is family." He came to Varanasi, went to one family and gave an offer. "Allow me to stay in your family as a paying guest for 2 years, just for me to experience what is family, to have meals together, to enjoy the small exchanges which a typical family would usually have, because I missed out on all of that in life. So if you allow me to stay as a paying guest for just 2 years, I'll give you a rent of 1 lakh rupees every month," this American student said. That family said, "Why 2 years? Stay whole life." And then they said, "If you have other friends who want to experience family, call them also." So Goldman Sachs came with a report that between 2015 to 2025, the infrastructure investment required for India would be almost $1.3 trillion. And then they asked the question, where would the majority of the money come from? And they said almost $800 billion would come from family savings. Unless there is feeling for the family, there will not be savings. And therefore, many times we fail to recognize the practical, the financial ramifications of cultural preservation. And today, if we are chasing behind Western technology and excited about bringing Google in and WhatsApp in and Amazon in and all of those Californian companies, then along with the technology, the sociological disasters would also follow very soon. And therefore, what I would like to really acknowledge from Dr. Vaijayanti's life is that apart from all the fantastic professional accomplishments, which all of you are much more aware than myself, the most amazing thing is she has managed to balance that beautifully with her family life and giving excellent care and attention to her family and bringing such wonderful children and grandchildren as part of her entire ecosystem. So I think she deserves an applause for that balance. So I'm very, very grateful that we are connected in so many ways, and she keeps guiding us in the social sector as we are a spiritual organization and gradually entering into the social sector. We have a Govardhan Eco Village in Palghar. As you know, Palghar is one of the poorest districts in India with population of 3 million but a per capita income of only 27,000 rupees per annum. And we are trying to do something with education, healthcare and livelihood. And we are grateful to her and an honor to be in the presence of all of you. Thank you very much.
We are releasing the book, so we will be wanting the. I want all the co-authors also should come around. Farida, please come ahead. Give me a book. Sunita, please come. Both the Sunitas, yeah, please come. Rajan, please come ahead. So, more than 100 people have written for me. I can't believe there are only 5 here. Come on. Aditya, come on. Come. Madan sir, come. You have to hold the book in your hand. Now is the real release.
My shoulders back.
I would like to acknowledge the presence of Vandana Patkar from Ad Factors, being a friend and a great writer. Also Namrata, who's there online, is from Dubai, and my son is there.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi everyone.
My son is there from Bangkok. Ajay is there, so I would like to just say thank you to everyone. Yes. Vedant, this book is dedicated to you, so please come. Come here. Come. The granddaughters are fast asleep.
Let's open it.
Yes,
Please open. Please open.
Those who don't have can clap. Please give a round of applause to all the authors. Dr. Singh, Kannade sir, आप आइए आगे.
Hold the book like this.
Shainaz and Rutu, please come forward. Birla Sangvi, I would like to acknowledge her presence. A great entrepreneur again, and extremely artistic. The kind of sarees that she makes. I think all of you know about her.
Sir, 1 minute, yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you
very much. Thank you. So the book is released. I would like to mention that it is on Google Play Store. It is on Kindle. So you can buy an e-copy, or in case you require a paperback, I'm always there. You can just contact me and I'll have it sent to you. Right now we have just a few limited copies, so I can't give it today, but I will definitely see to it that I send it to you.
I think she needs a standing ovation.
Thank you so much. Just 2 more minutes, we are just cutting the cake, so the cake will come here. Just a minute. Please wait. So there are 2 cakes. One is, has on it, it's written, Life Blooms at 70, which is the title of the book. So the co-authors are going to cut it because they are the ones who contributed to this book and have enriched it so much. And the other is sent by my granddaughters from Thailand. So they've written on it, Happy Birthday Dadi. So they are the 2 cakes. It's in the form of a book. So also in the book you'll see a sketch which my 3-year-old granddaughter has done, and that's her interpretation of her Dada Dadi. So that is also there. There is another sketch by my friend Yasmin, who has done my sketch, which is I just put it on the Facebook today. Yeah, please come forward. Please come forward. One more announcement. Today Madan sir is with us, Madan Bahal and his wife Dolly ji. Today is their marriage anniversary, and yet I bullied him to come here. I told him nothing doing, you must come. And somehow or the other my birthday and that anniversary falls on the same day, coincides, and they are so sweet, such a sweet couple that they first come to me and then they celebrate on their own. So Madan sir, thank you so much. Dolly ji, thank you very much. This is the book. No, this is for This is for me. So that's so okay, I am cutting this first.
Happy birthday, Happy
टिश्यू अरे टिश्यू no first let them cut yeah no one will give you हाँ अच्छा वाला मेरा आप thank you all of you sir आप कट करिए